You can push it back, do whatever you want.
No. Okay, so you guys all know what water skiing is, right? Like you're out there, like you're doing little moves. Like if you're creative, you can go like that. Anyway, so I went to summer camp for about 8 years. It was for a month in Lake Fairley. And if you guys don't know, there's a ski course there at the end of the lake. So basically, there's a buoy here, or a couple buoys here, a couple buoys there, a couple buoys there, and the boat goes through the middle, and you're on one ski, so you're following. As the boat goes through, you have to weave around. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, so I would consider myself like pretty good, and I was part of the advanced ski crew or class at my camp. And so there, after you got a certain level, so after I passed the slalom course, the next step was to do barefoot water skiing. So if you don't know what barefoot water skiing is, it's pretty hard. I'm not going to say I was good at it because it's terrible. So you start by going Superman like this, and then as the boat goes, and you're going at a really high speed, because you have to have the tension to pull yourself up, physics. So as the boat's going, you're going like this on your belly, and then you have to slowly swing yourself around, and then you swing your knees up, and then you go into like a little egg position, and then you slowly sit up. So it's a pretty complex process. And so we were out there about 6 a.m. because you have to be out there when the water's calm, because sometimes if it's not, you can really hurt yourself because you're going at such high speeds because of the force you have to pull up. So I was out there, and so I did it once successfully, really do not know how I did it. And then the second time I try, okay, so thank God I have my life jacket on. So I'm out there, and I am turning, and as I'm turning, my head hits the water, and since you're going at such a high speed, the impact force is really, really high. And so all of a sudden I black out, and the next thing I remember is me in the boat, and I realized that someone had to come into the water and get me because I blacked out because my head hit the water so hard. And so then from there, I had a concussion, and that led to a ton of problems, and my mom was really mad at me because she was like, "You're an idiot, why are you out there barefoot water skiing?" So more of the story is, really don't go barefoot water skiing.
All right, 209. See, Sarah H.
Okay, so 2 summers ago, Pamela and I decided to go work on our soccer skills because it was a kind of cloudy day, and we didn't want to go swimming. It was during the summer, and we were bored. So we go down Huntley Meadow. We're working on our soccer skills, and basically we got bored, and we see this baseball dugout, and we were like, it would be so much fun to be on the roof of that baseball dugout. Let's go climb up. So it's kind of hard getting up. There's a fence, and Pema has to push me up like this, and then I'm on the roof, and I'm pulling her up. But basically we get up on the roof of the baseball dugout, and we're chilling there, and I don't remember what we were talking about. It's probably something deep, And so we're bored. Then we decide to leave again, and it's kind of a far jump, and Pema doesn't think it's a good idea, but I decided it's a really good moment to show my bravery to her. So I turn to Pema and I say, "Pema, sometimes you just gotta push yourself." And I push myself off the baseball dugout. And what happens next is this silence because I am clutching my leg in pain and trying. I think it's broken. Okay? And I'm trying not to cry. It hurts so much. And Pema's looking at me thinking, "You are such a dumbass. I can't believe you." And then basically Pema got off the other way, and I limped back to, that's it.
139. Josh.
Okay, so I was driving back from a Lightning soccer game. It was my mom, me, and Jackson. And we start hearing this thump from outside the car. It just goes thump, 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 thump. And me and Jackson look at each other oh gosh, what's that? And we honestly think there's maybe something outside the car just hitting it. And my mom's freaking out because, moms and that stuff. So we pull over the car. And we get out, look around the car, like there's nothing. So we're like, okay, we're probably good. So we get back on, and a few minutes later, the sound starts again. Thunk, 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 thunk. And we're like, oh no, my mom's really like, oh gosh, we gotta do something. So we pull off the highway and go to a gas station, and we look around, there's still nothing. And so we go inside the gas station and ask if someone could come out and like take a look at the car. So this older woman, like in her 40s, comes out and just walks around the car, you know, and then comes up to the front tire and just kicks it. And the tire shakes like this. The lug nuts were not tightened all the way on. And me and Jackson were like, oh my goodness. So, and she's like, yeah, you didn't tighten that tire. So she like tightens it up for us, and we're like, get back on, we drive home. And earlier that day, my dad had changed the winter tires to the spring tires, and we're like, we get back, we're like, Dad, you didn't tighten the tires at all. We almost lost the tire on the way back. He's like, wow, that's not good. And so whenever he gets annoyed at us or anything, we just say lug nuts, because he didn't tighten the lug nuts. So, yeah.
140. Fletcher, no. Andrew.
Alright. So, about this time last year, we had a lacrosse team dinner. And it was a nice day out. We went to Brendan's house, and we decided to, you know, toss the tennis ball around with lacrosse sticks. It wasn't really anything intense. We were just having fun. And more people came out. We were throwing the ball around and started shooting on the goal, and we started playing keep play. And everything was like pretty mellow. And then I threw the ball to Nate Spitz, and he ran around the house. And then he came back around the same side. He left, and I pretended to set a pick for him. And Chris Washington, who's like the nicest guy on the team, wouldn't hurt anyone, pushed me right as Nate ran around the corner, and I was kind of like airborne, and Nate's head hit the side of my head, and I was like on the ground. I was looking at my hands, and I saw that they were like red, and I was like touching my head, and I was like, ew, something's really squishy and like gross. And then I like looked back at my hands, and I'm like, that's blood. So I like got up, and I'm like looking around, I'm like, and I see Nate's on the ground too, with like blood running out of his eyebrow, and there's blood everywhere. And I look around, I'm like, somebody call an ambulance. And I freaked out because I thought it was like a lot worse than it was. But my dad gave me staples and stitches, and it all turned out fine. So. Yeah.
129. All right. Jen.
So I went skiing for the first time ever this year with Pema, Christine, Sarah, Claire, and Ben Acker. And you know, I started off the bunny hill, learned my weight transfers and my pizza stops, and I was feeling pretty good. So I was like, okay, like I'll join the others and start skiing. So they go off a black diamond, and I somehow survive by, you know, doing my C cuts. And then I'm like, okay, wow, like I could do anything. Like, let's go. And so we're skiing, and now it's like the 6th or 7th run, and we find this lip on the side of the trail where, you know, we can jump off. And so Pema, like, you know, skis off to the side, takes her camera out and starts, you know, filming. And we're still at the top, and Ben Acker goes first with so much speed. And Ben Acker's a great snowboarder, related to Kevin Pierce. So he gracefully, you know, jumps off the lip and gets airborne. And I'm like, you know what, like, black diamond, bunny hill, I can do this. So I ski down like this, you know, like I'm playing hockey. Whereas, you know, skiers are supposed to put their knees together. And I came in with so much speed, and as soon as I hit it, I lost all control. Like, my arms were flailing, my left ski popped off when it hit the ground, and my knees just gave out. I hit the floor, or I hit the snow with my head. Meanwhile, Pema, Ben, and Sarah are laughing, and they love that they got it on film. And I even hear Pema go, "Wow, you suck." Not even concerned whether I'm hurt or not. And she skis over, kicks me a little bit. I'm like, ow, like stop, like I'm in pain. And so then the next day, I'm in bed, really sore, and I log onto Facebook, and I see on my notifications I have like 10 of them, and I look, and it's just a video of me, and like 80 likes on the video of me eating it, and I was like, Pema, like, no, I'm so embarrassed. So yeah, that was my first time skiing ever.
2:15. All right. We have Reed, no Henry. I know.
So
It's like obligatory. Pema's got to be in his story.
So when I was about the age of 8 or 9, I don't really remember. It was around that time. I went to this recycling center in Norwich. It wasn't the first time I'd been there. I still actually go there regularly to throw away recyclables with my mom. And that one day, I went inside this little shack that had used books in there. They were for everybody. People usually came in and dropped them off for people to take home and read for free. And I had been there before as well. And I usually go home with at least one book in there. One I remember was Treasure Island, and that day I chose The Hobbit, and I was in there with my little sister, and it wasn't actually the first time I read the book, but it was like I wanted to actually own the book, but I decided to stay in there and read it for like 10 minutes because I liked it that much, and well. After 10 minutes of just sitting there reading that book, with my sister next to me reading her own book, I decided to go outside. And I'm still actually reading my book because I like it that much. And my little sister, she says to me, "Where's the car?" And I look around, I can't find my mom, I can't find the car, I can't find my younger brother, who was also with me. And I realized my mom had driven off, left me and my little sister at this recycling center. So I try not to panic. I'm the older brother here, so I have to be in control. And so I'm just standing there frozen for like 2 minutes, and then finally she pulls up. She actually pulls up, surprisingly, and it's not because she remembered, but because my younger brother is sitting in the back pointing out to her, "Hey, where's Henry and Hillary?" And so my mom didn't even remember it by herself. So there's no lesson to learn from here, I don't think, for me at least. But it was a fun memory. Maybe not. It wasn't fun when I was that age, but it's fun to. It was fun to think about. Yeah.
I don't know the time because I screwed up and I kept it going from the time before.
It was
So.
like a little